Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I'm one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language, and welcome to your task of the week. And it's a very special task of the week because you voted for this writing task too. In this session, we're going to analyse the winning task 2 topic. I'll help you activate or learn some new vocabulary. We'll write an out of this world essay. And at the end, I'm going to share with you an opportunity to get some writing feedback here at E2. So stay tuned for that. Now, with every writing task 2, the first thing to do is read the question carefully. Here are the instructions that we always start with. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task, write about the following topic, give reasons, include examples, write at least 250 words. And here is the winning topic. Drum roll. Let's read it. Some governments spend a lot of money on exploring space. Some feel that this investment is justified, it's a good idea, or it's worth it, while others think that money should be spent on public services like healthcare and education. Public services, things that benefit the citizens of that country or fulfill their basic needs. And our question: discuss both these views and give your opinion. So we've got 3 things to do here: discuss both sides plus give our own opinion. I won't go into too much detail about how to plan and structure this essay, but if you want extra help, check us out at e2language.com for 100% online preparation. We've got a huge IELTS course there, plus daily or twice daily live group classes. You can submit your work for feedback or take a one-on-one tutorial with a teacher like me. Now, back to our space topic. Let's activate our vocabulary. When you voted for this topic on Facebook and Instagram, I imagine it's probably because you don't feel confident with space-related vocab or space-related issues. So I'm going to help you by showing you some vocabulary from my essay. Here is a really small list of useful words. I'm going to go through each one and then give you a quick quiz to see if you remember. First word is to squander. This is to waste, usually money. For example, my friend squandered his money at the casino last week. He basically flushed it down the toilet by gambling. Squander. To mine. These guys here are miners. They are in a mine and they are mining. What are they mining for? Probably coal or gold or diamonds. To mine. Another word from our essay today is literacy. Literacy is the ability to read and write. So if a country has a really good education system, do you think its literacy rate is high or low? It would be high, of course. Here's probably a familiar word: rocket. Now, examiners love to see topic-specific vocabulary in writing. So when you're discussing space, it's an opportunity to bring in some interesting space vocab that you know. Vaccine. This is related to the public services part of the question today. You get a vaccine to protect you from diseases. It's usually in an injection, like in this picture. Another space word, this guy or this girl is an astronaut. And uninhabitable. It's impossible to live here. This place is uninhabitable. Maybe it's the centre of Australia or perhaps Jupiter or Venus. These places are uninhabitable. Uninhabitable. Were there any new words for you there? Hopefully you've picked up some new vocabulary. Let's do a quick quiz and see how much you remember. Vocabulary quiz. Which word or phrase from the previous page means spaceship, ability to read and write, waste, a substance to provide immunity, unsuitable to live in, dig in the earth for coal, gold, minerals, etc.? Here's 30 seconds. Type your answers in the comments. If you're still struggling, here's a hint. The first letter of each word and 30 more seconds. You feeling confident? Do you think you got 6 out of 6 correct? Let's check. Your answers should be rocket, literacy, squander, vaccine, uninhabitable, and mine. So remember, as I said, try to get in some of these topic-specific words like rocket and astronaut, and in general, work on your vocabulary every day. Come along to our live classes. We love doing quizzes like this. Back to our essay, and it's time now to plan. Remember, we've got 3 things to think about: the first view, the second view, and my own view. Let's start with the first one, that space exploration is justified, that the money is worth it. I'd love to know your own ideas here, so pop them in the comments below. What are some arguments for investing in space research? The first thing that I ask myself here is why? Why is space research a good thing? And here are a few ideas. Well, one, space research can have many knock-on effects for ordinary people. For instance, did you know that pacemakers and sunglasses came from space research? Another reason is that this could help to protect us from asteroid collisions. Sounds a little bit like science fiction, but apparently it's true. And third one, we might find a new planet to mine or perhaps to colonize. We're already looking at somewhere like Mars for people to move to. What about the second point? Money should be spent on public services instead. So why do some people think that this is a waste of money, that the money should go on public services? Well, this is a pretty easy one. Some people are starving and dying of treatable diseases around the world. They need this money. Another reason why the money should be spent on public services: some say space exploration is not useful any longer. We've already been to the moon, we've got satellites everywhere, we've sent a rover to Mars. What more do we need to know? And another one, government money should be spent on citizens first. Many people believe that the citizens' needs should come before throwing money away into space or squandering money on space exploration. So this brings us to my view, or rather your view. You could be 100% on this side, 100% on this side, and I know what your next question is. Can I be on both sides? And this is a great question. You can't actually be on both sides. You can't 100% argue for something and 100% argue against something. Of course, you can have a nuanced opinion, which is in the middle, but I'm going to show you something on the criteria just to keep in mind as you plan and write your essay. So everything comes down to this marking criteria, of course. I'm going to zoom in off the page here down to band 3. And the middle dot point says, does not express a clear position. Position is basically your opinion. So if an examiner gets to the end of your essay and still doesn't clearly understand what you think, you're in danger of getting a band 3 for task response. So at all costs, you need to avoid this. To be up here, band 7, middle dot point presents a clear position throughout the response. This is, of course, what we need, and I'm going to show you how to make sure you're giving a clear position throughout the response, not just at the end. So step 3, let's write. I haven't shown you my plan, but as I write my essay, you'll be able to figure it out. We start with the introduction. I always follow the E2 structure with 3 sentences. Here we go. In the last century, billions of dollars have been spent on the exploration of the universe. Although some support this investment, others feel that this money is squandered and should instead be spent tackling Earth's many problems, such as public health and education. In this essay, I will examine both views and explain why I agree that the government should cease funding space programs. Notice this part here. This is my opinion. In this type of essay and in the real world, in this type of question, you would probably give your opinion at the end, but I want to avoid getting a band 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 in task response. I want to show the examiner clear position throughout. So I put my opinion in the introduction, and I would advise you to do the same. On to body 1 now, and we're looking at the first view. Those who advocate this state-funded research argue that the future of humankind may depend on such a discovery. If we found an Earth-like planet nearby, for instance, they claim that our species could mine its resources or even colonise and potentially migrate there once our own planet becomes uninhabitable. Indeed, projects are already underway investigating the feasibility of life on Mars, among other places. Thus, to these supporters, the government's money is well spent on exploring outer space, as it could ultimately save us. Notice the use of those and they, these supporters. All of that indicates that this is not my view. Now, on to body 2, I'd like to give you a little challenge here. If you're already an E2 subscriber, you're probably familiar with this type of activity from our live classes. For those of you who are not yet a member, let me explain it. I've got my body 2 paragraph here, but I've taken out some of the words. Let me read through it, see if you can guess what's missing, and then I'll show you the possible options. Body 2. Others, however, myself included, do not support this ongoing. Indeed, in the last few decades, countries like the USA have spent over $100 billion sending astronauts, rovers, and out into the galaxy, and the results have been negligible. If this money had been spent instead on improving something or sanitation in the third world or on researching and treatments for deadly diseases, our lives would be much better than they currently are. Given that private businesses such as Tesla and Virgin are now pouring money space research, governments no longer need to waste their money on this fruitless pursuit. Here are your options. I'll give you 45 seconds to fill in the gaps. Have a go, challenge yourself. And here are the answers. How did you go? 5 out of 5? This brings us now to the conclusion. In conclusion, humanity's thirst for knowledge is unquenchable. It is time, however, for private corporations to invest and for governments to take responsibility for their real duty here on Earth. So remember the importance of that clear position throughout. You can see I've restated what I believe in the conclusion here. The final step would be to edit. So let me just show you the full sample. Here it is. Grab a screenshot or pause and write it out, or read it aloud into your phone and listen to it later. I promised you earlier an opportunity regarding IELTS writing feedback. If you're already an E2 language subscriber, you'll know that you can get your work assessed by one of our IELTS experts, or you can take a one-on-one tutorial to go through your writing together with your teacher. But for the next few weeks, we're inviting everybody, anyone out there, to submit your writing via the link below. And I'm going to choose 3 essays. Those 3 essays will be part of our live writing feedback class on e2language.com. Now, this is not on YouTube, but it will be open to all E2 subscribers, even free subscribers. So you just need to pop over to e2language.com and subscribe. In the class, I'll go through each of the 3 essays I've selected and explain the strengths and weaknesses and show you what it takes to reach Band 7 and above. If your writing is chosen, lucky you, but even if I don't select your essay, I promise you will still benefit from the class. Plus, it'll be live on e2language.com, so you can ask me any question that you like. So let me recap. Submit your essay via the link below. Sign up as a free member at e2language.com and then join our free live class on April the 12th. One more thing, here is your topic that you're going to write about. Advertising has become an unavoidable part of everyone's lives. Some people say that advertising is a positive part of our lives, while others say it is a negative one. Discuss both views and include your own opinion. Be sure to submit your work before April the 5th. And remember to subscribe and come along to our live class on April the 12th. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on our E2 IELTS Task of the Week. Bye.